This is going to be the toughest fight of his career.
Sharp, relax.
The most embarrassing fight of his career.
Chair across your face.
Yeah, I think he's about to cry.
I'm definitely up for fighting. There's a lot of names in the division, for sure. But at the same time, look at what this creates as well. I'm a fighter, and I understand that economics of business as well. And this does good business.
Are you really going to do this? Absolutely. Are we going to do this? For a record payday? To go in and spark Jake Paul before we start the serious stuff in 2026? Don't tell me what we should and what we shouldn't be doing.
Anthony Joshua didn't just warn Jake Paul, he delivered a cold, chilling threat. Joshua's team says this isn't hype, it's danger. Eddie Hearn flat out told Paul that one AJ punch could have devastating consequences. Even former pro Moses Atama said stepping in with Joshua isn't ambition, it's a health risk. And this is only the beginning.
And Anthony Joshua should not get in the way of Fury and Joshua, really, in my view. It's an absolute joke. It shouldn't be sanctioned. I really don't believe it should be sanctioned. I have a sneaking suspicion that it would be a very big fight. But the biggest thing is us rubbernecking to actually see if they do get to the point where they step in the ring together. Because Jake Paul's an area-level fighter, a British area-level fighter, and Anthony Joshua is still a killer and a live heavyweight. That should not be sanctioned anywhere in the world, in my view.
It's dangerous, mate.
Very dangerous.
It brings the sport into disrepute. The people that are talking about organising that, they should have a real hard look at themselves.
But even Eddie Hearn's kind of teasing he doesn't like it, but you can see the glitz of dollars.
There's no price. There is no price.
There shouldn't be.
There's absolutely no price
Agree
on
with
the
you.
planet in order to make.
Jake Paul facing Anthony Joshua isn't a gamble. It's a potential medical emergency. Boxing insiders like Ariel Helwani say Joshua's power and experience could cause real damage. They're not predicting a tough fight. They're predicting survival issues. But once the real footage came out, everything changed.
Fights has been beaten 3 times. The 4 fighters that he beat didn't come to win. So he's not in his prime, is he? He's literally at the end of his career, pretty much finished. And this is why taking this fight with you is telling you all you need to know. It's a cash out. He might as well just cream as much money as he can at the end of his career, fighting an absolute joke shop in clown world. When I beat Anthony Joshua, he says, every doubt disappears. Come on. I mean, if this is a straight up AJ versus Jake Paul, then we all know what should happen. This is a 1-round job because AJ, even though he's past his best, even though he's seen better days, he throws a nice 1-2 down the middle. He's got a nice bit of distance, and fake Paul can't fight. He just can't. I don't care what anybody tells me. He can't fucking fight. He lost to Tommy Fury, for crying out loud. You can't jump in with Anthony Joshua now and expect to get a result. So, no doubt's going to disappear.
Heavyweight Moses warned Paul to think about his health, not headlines. One wrong punch from Joshua, he says, could change Paul's life forever. And Amir Khan didn't hold back. Joshua could seriously hurt him, even brain damage. If you think this fight even happens, you're in the minority.
Joshua sparked him out in like 2 rounds. Really? Yeah, why do you look surprised when
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying.
Come on, bro. You're fighting like one of the best heavyweight fighters in the world against a YouTuber. Like, come on. Like, respect the sport of boxing. And if AJ has to go in there and show these influencers that, listen, you can't fuck about with boxing. You know what I mean? Someone's going to get hurt badly. And this could be one of the first fights where a fighter gets hurt badly because if you look at the size difference and the power difference, I mean, bro, there could be brain damages going on. I mean, AJ could hurt him badly, you know.
Well, when you look at Francis Ngannou, who's one of the most fearsome combat stars there is. I know it's MMA, but we saw what AJ did to Ngannou. So,
and that's why you don't look. You can't be surprised if AJ is going to do the same to what's it called again? What?
For Joshua, this fight isn't about money. It's about protecting his legacy. Experts like Johnny Nelson say AJ is in a no-win situation. Crush Paul, and he's a bully. Struggle with him, and he looks washed. One night could rewrite his entire reputation on live TV.
I do believe it because AJ's involved, and I think AJ'd struggle to. He's going to take enough flack over this, but again, it's money talk. So I think AJ will struggle because it is an all-win situation. If he goes in there and Jake Paul lasts the distance, what does he tell you about AJ? Apart from he's just earned an extra 15 million quid. If he goes there and struggles with Jake Paul, then what's he say about AJ? Your heydays are well and truly over. If he goes in there and knocks him out, then I'll say that's to be expected. So the glory, there's probably not much glory in it, apart from the haters of Jake Paul to say, right, I've got rid of this kid. I think it's very brave of Jake Paul. So now the problem child has got to believe this fight's actually happening. So now you've got our attention. So now you've got to back up the boast. It's not about, you're not playing tiddlywink. This is the only game you can't play. You can play football, golf.
Johnny Nelson calls Jake Paul a brilliant marketer, but not a world-class boxer. Paul skipped the amateur grind, built fame online, and monetized the sport without paying traditional dues. Nelson says he's good, but nowhere near elite. And this is where the story gets darker.
Lost to Daniel Dubois. He's going to be 35 years of age. It's crazy what I'm about to ask you, but can Jake Paul really beat Anthony Joshua?
All right, listen, I give all credit. Everyone knows that. They get mad at me that I gave too much credit to Paul. Why? He's done a hell of a job to put himself in this position. He sold himself. He sold his dream. He took his dream. He took his idea. And he put it out there, and he made it happen. Give him credit for that. And he made it happen. And he took risk along the way. Yeah, he picked his spots. He's in the driver's seat. He gets to pick his spots. He's the one bringing the money. He's the one promoting. Yeah, he's the name. He made himself that, coming from where he came from, with all his followers and the whole thing, and just the uniqueness of what he was doing. But he has learned along the way. He's not a top guy yet. No, I don't know that he ever will be. He didn't have that amateur background and the things that you usually need to be a top guy. But he has improved. He is a work in progress. He is a guy that you got to give him credit that he's respected the sport. He went out there.
Carl Froch warns the fight could damage Joshua's legacy even more, making him look desperate, not great. And strangely, AJ agrees. He says the only thing that matters now is leaving the sport healthy. That's not confidence. That's a man who's seen the cost of this game up close.
Bunsen burner's lit, like I've said. He's cashing out. And fair play to him, he's cashing out. But to what detriment to his legacy? A lot, really. Because if this is going to be his last fight, fighting this clown show, I mean, it's not ideal, is it? It's no ideal way to go out. But people would argue, well, he's just taking the money and running. So you can't really argue with that. So that's it for another episode of Froch on Fighting. I had to get my opinion out there because I know you've all been waiting for it. It's a shame, really. I'd like to see Anthony Joshua, actually, even though I don't believe he can do it. But when Eddie Hearn tells us that AJ is going to become a 3-time world champ, it'd be nice to see the rebuilding process and get back behind him. 1 or 2 easy fights and then go for a world title. And this could be one of the 2 easy fights. But I just think if you're going to jump in with fake Paul at this level, which is like I say, arguably a massive mismatch, it's no way to step towards or climb a ladder to get towards that world title. So this, for me, tells me that Anthony Joshua knows he's finished at any sort of elite level or world level. He won't be trying to go down the world title level anymore. This is just a cash out. So good luck to him. Fair play to him, but hopefully when he's finished this fight, he'll be honest with us and say, listen, I've milked it, I've creamed it, I've had an unbelievable touch at the end of my career. I mean, he's already had an outrageous touch, Annie, with the involvement of Saudi Arabia, and now he's just creaming it at the end. He's got fake Paul, which is massive. Great for AJ, fair play to him. Anybody would do the same at the end of the career he's had. You know, he's not an elite heavyweight, is he? He's never going to come back and become a world.
Jake Paul, however, is convinced he can beat Joshua. On his podcast, he said AJ has no chin, no skill, and is stiff. He believes Joshua's recent KO loss exposed deep weaknesses and that now is the perfect time to strike. If that sounds delusional, comment KO incoming.
Why is Jake Paul doing this? Well, I think it's because he genuinely believes there is a chance he can win this. I think he's calculated everything about Anthony Joshua's circumstances and he's gone, yeah, I actually think I can do this. I can leapfrog so many years of having to build and go through the ranks and do all that stuff by beating a shop-worn Anthony Joshua. And what are the factors in Jake Paul believing this? Well, it would be firstly that AJ received a loss in his most recent fight. Anthony Joshua's not been in the ring since September 2024, so over a year by the time him and Jake Paul get in the ring together. It will have been around 15 months. It was the manner of Joshua's loss where he looked terrible. He looked like a fighter that was well past his best. His timing wasn't there. He even looked a little bit chinny, dare I say. I mean, I still think he's got a good chin. The shot he took from Dubois was absolutely massive and would have knocked down many heavyweights. And he showed decent powers of recovery to get up and struggle through for as long as he did before his over-aggression and miscalculation with the type of shots he was using got him knocked out by Dubois. But if you're deluded enough like Jake Paul, then perhaps you look at that and go, he landed a massive right hand on Joshua's chin. Why can't I do the same? I believe myself to be a very big puncher. And it's that old saying, isn't it? You know, you shoot for the stars, you might at least land on the moon. And I think that's kind of why Jake Paul's maybe got to where he is in life, because he does have too much self-confidence. He does believe in himself. Well,
Paul says this is his moment to silence every critic who claims he fights small or washed-up opponents. Beating a former heavyweight champion like Joshua, he says, makes him undeniable. In Paul's mind, this fight erases every doubt.
They said, fight a real boxer. They said, fight someone your size. They said, fight a world champion. We looked at a long list of supposed...
Teddy Atlas is cautious but curious. He says the gap between the two fighters is huge, maybe too huge. But he also thinks Joshua's recent knockout and long layoff leave him vulnerable. Atlas wants to see which version of AJ shows up, the destroyer or the man fighting his own ghosts.
Having said all of that, this might be a step too far. Now, when I say it, I'm also... I try to be responsible. I've been in this game 50 years, so I know where not to step, where you could twist an ankle, or worse, you could break a leg or fall down. When I say that with the understanding, too, that Joshua's coming off being knocked out. Joshua hasn't fought for a year, right? But it's about a year. And there's some ghost in his attic. There are. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he's gotten rid of some of them, but I know that in the position of a fighter coming where he's coming from, there are ghosts in your attic. I don't know if those ghosts are still taking up space. I don't know if maybe there could be no better exorcism for those ghosts than fighting a Jake Paul. That might be just the exorcism you need to clear out the attic. I don't know. That's the problem. We don't know. That's the mystery part of this. That's what makes it so... It makes it two things at once. Intriguing and, in some ways, infuriating.
Atlas respects Jake Paul's passion and improvement, but he draws a line. Paul will never be an elite boxer. He's a smart promoter, a hard worker, and a real student of the sport. But he can't just walk in and beat seasoned world-level fighters. And Anthony Joshua may be the one to show him that.